There's something special about high school wrestling. Wrestling is one of the fastest growing interscholastic sports, showing an 11% increase in participation during the past year. It is one-on-one competition. Coaches become involved with the efforts of the wrestlers. Parents and other interested fans assist their favorites as best they can. Each wrestler receives a fair and equal opportunity, provided the rules are administered properly. In order to accomplish this, all who participate must understand the rules. The purpose of this film is to explain them. The wrestlers start from a position on the 10-foot circle with a signal from the referee. In the neutral position, each must attempt to secure a takedown. A wrestler may circle to set up his opponent. Failure to work for a takedown by avoiding contact with the opponent is stalling.
Stalling!
A takedown is awarded when a wrestler gains control of his opponent down on the mat while the supporting points of either wrestler are in bounds. In order to have control, a competitor must bring his opponent to the mat for reaction time. That is, approximately 2 seconds. Hand and knee to mat momentarily do not constitute a takedown. A wrestler may benefit from a move by his opponent which he can successfully counter. Control is the key to determining when a takedown is awarded. When this wrestler starts to bridge, his opponent is in control. A takedown can be earned near a boundary provided the supporting points of one wrestler are in bounds. It is a takedown because the supporting points of the defensive wrestler are in bounds. Control is the determining factor. When there is no control and neither wrestler can improve his position, it is a stalemate. The wrestler who has locked his hands around his opponent's leg is off his base, and his opponent is in control of 2 of the 3 supports. It is a takedown. As soon as control is gained, the wrestler may begin to earn points for a near fall. The referee must be alert for a possible near fall immediately following a takedown. To resume wrestling following control on the mat, the defensive wrestler is on his hands and knees, with his hands in advance of the forward starting line and his knees touching the rear starting line. On signal, the offensive wrestler takes his position. He must have one knee on the mat on the near side of his opponent. The near side is the side on which the offensive wrestler places the palm of his hand on his opponent's elbow. His head must be over the midline of his opponent's back. Wrestlers must be stationary until started by the referee. When a wrestler makes a false start, he will be cautioned for the first offense and penalized thereafter. Failure of a wrestler to assume the starting position when directed by the referee is a technical violation for delay of match. It is an escape when a defensive wrestler gains a neutral position, that is, when his opponent has lost control. Control or loss of control is not always easily determined. Control is the determining factor. When it is lost, 1 point will be awarded. When the defensive wrestler comes from underneath and gains control of his opponent, it is a reversal, and 2 points are awarded. It is also a reversal when there is a change of control on the mat. Sometimes it is difficult to know which wrestler is in control. Control changes when a competitor is more concerned about staying off his back than in countering a move. The wrestler who was in control jeopardizes his position and finds himself on the defensive. No points are awarded here because there is no change in control. There is no escape, even though the defensive wrestler breaks free momentarily. This whizzer escape earns 1 point and is followed by a 2-point takedown. When a competitor intentionally releases his opponent, he must move to the front before initiating a takedown. This results in 1 point to the opponent and 2 points to the offensive wrestler. In the Granby, change of control can readily be recognized by action of the bottom man. When he is more concerned about his back than in maintaining control of his opponent, advantage is changed. Control has changed. 2 points are awarded. This is also a change of control and results in near fall points being awarded. The defensive wrestler gains control of his opponent. He earns a reversal, which is followed by a near fall. One point is awarded because control was lost prior to both wrestlers going out of bounds. Wrestling is stopped when a period ends. Only 1 point can be awarded for this switch. Action Athletic has supported high school wrestling since we produced our first wrestling mat in 1968. Since then, our innovations have established us as the leader in the industry. 1970, a new, tougher coating. 1972, continuous roll stock Insulite, the undisputed champion of protection. 1973, the most progressive step in wrestling mat history, a fused plastisol skin developed by Uniroyal. When you consider your next mat, go for Insulite. Go for action. The pinning area extends from the top of the shoulders to the lower tips of the scapula. When any portion of both shoulders is in continuous contact with the mat for 2 seconds, a fall will be declared. This is a fall because the lower tips of both shoulders are in contact with the mat. Even though only the tops of the shoulders are on the mat, a fall is awarded. When one shoulder is on the mat and the other is less than 45 degrees to the mat, it is a near fall. It is also a near fall when both shoulders are stopped within 4 inches of the mat or less. When held continuously for 5 seconds or more, 3 points are earned. In this sequence, the offensive wrestler uses a grapevine on the near leg and an arm lock to bring his opponent into a near fall situation. The first near fall ends when the competitor is successful in coming out of the pinning situation. The second near fall is awarded when the offensive man applies the split scissor. It ends when the defensive wrestler regains his base and is followed by yet another near fall with the guillotine. Even though the defensive wrestler's shoulders are in contact with the mat during this attempted shoulder roll, there is no near fall until the offensive wrestler is able to restrain his opponent. No points are awarded for a near fall when a wrestler simply rolls across his shoulders. In an attempted switch, the defensive man momentarily exposes his shoulders to the mat, but there is no near fall. The move was initiated by the defensive man. In a pinning situation near the boundary, near fall points may not be awarded unless both shoulders are over the inbounds area. Stalling is avoiding wrestling. It may occur either in the neutral, defensive, or offensive position. When using the edge of the mat to avoid contact, it is stalling. It is also stalling when backing away to avoid contact. When the defensive wrestler makes no attempt to escape or reverse, but moves only to counter, it is stalling. He is warned without stopping the match. When he persists, he is penalized. When neither wrestler can improve his position, it is a stalemate. Repeated stalemate situations result in a warning or in a penalty for stalling. Even though the offensive wrestler appears to be moving for a pin, he is the one stalling by preventing his opponent from initiating any move. With a scissor on one leg, the offensive wrestler is stalling by preventing his opponent from gaining his base. Forcing the opponent off the mat is a technical violation, which is penalized without warning. Locking of the hands when a wrestler is on the mat is also a technical violation, penalized without warning.
1 point, locking hands.
In this situation, the offensive wrestler releases his locked hands within reaction time, and there is no penalty. Twisting or forcing of the head or any limb beyond its normal limits of movement constitutes an illegal hold. The neck wrench, that is, pulling the chin upward and away from the body, is an illegal hold. This counter constitutes an illegal hold because it can restrict the circulation of blood in the neck. This neck wrench is also illegal. Another example of an illegal neck wrench. Twisting the neck in the fireman's carry is illegal. The full Nelson is an illegal hold regardless of whether it is applied from the rear or from the side. When an illegal hold is employed to avoid being pinned, a penalty point is awarded when the sequence ends, in addition to other points earned. When a wrestler lifts his opponent and returns him to the mat with force, it is a slam. Lifting and deliberately dropping the opponent is a slam and is also unsportsmanlike conduct. Action which exceeds normal aggressiveness is unnecessary roughness. This crossface is a foul. This contact looks forceful, but it is legal. In the neutral position, such acts as striking or slapping an opponent are illegal. Butting is also illegal.
Illegal maneuver.
Legal holds which may cause injury are potentially dangerous, and wrestling is stopped. When this contestant stands, wrestling is stopped to prevent possible injury. All legal headlocks are potentially dangerous because they may result in injury. This hold was stopped because the arm covered the defensive man's mouth. It is potentially dangerous when a wrestler stands while his opponent has a grapevine or body scissors because of the possibility of injury. Wrestling can be a meaningful educational experience. In order to have good competition, it is necessary to maintain competent officiating. Officials assist both wrestlers by assuring that each competitor has an equal opportunity to display his skills within the rules. That is what wrestling is about.